Hello folks, I'm Dean with Dean's Woodworking. Welcome to the shop. Y'all come on in and make yourself comfortable. We've got a piece of cherry here on the lathe, and today we're going to make a combination turning. It's going to be a bell. It's also going to be a cross. The bell will be at the bottom. The handle will be across. I think this will be a success. It's the first time I've done one of these, but the idea has been in my head for some time. I can tell you at the craft shows, I sell a ton of bells and I sell a ton of crosses. So if I put the two together, it only comes to reason that I should sell a bunch of them. So let's see how this turns out. So we've got our breathing apparatus on, and hopefully the sound's still good here. This is a dry piece of wood, and so we are going to have some dust. First thing we're going to do here is go ahead and get this round, or a semblance of round, I should say. Pinning on this end. This particular chuck does use a dovetail. That's something else that important to know exactly what kind of jaws you have on your chuck. Some chucks offer several different types of jaws, so I can't tell you, okay, if you've got a Nova, do this, and if you've got a one-way, do that, if you've got a Vic Mark, do something else. As you folks will notice, this piece of wood is cracked. However, I don't think it's going to bother us. Okay, that's nice and smooth there, so we can go ahead and get started. Okay, so the bell's going to be on this end. We'll go ahead and get that turned down just a little bit. Let's go ahead and we'll take our bowl gouge and we'll start to get the general shape of the bell. I think we'll have the bell come back to about right there. We'll go with that for right now. We're going to come in and we're going to hollow this out. We're going to be hollowing way out here on the end. We're just going to double check that this chuck is good and tight. It doesn't take much way out here to knock yourself out of that chuck. When you're doing this, be real careful. Lighter cut. That's what I'm talking about, so be very careful. It is easy to do that. I would say I did that on purpose just so you guys could see it, but it happened. And I tend to get a little heavy-handed with my cuts anyway. I'm constantly having to remind myself to slow down and take it easy. I'm using a 3/8 inch spindle gouge. I'm switching over to a 1/2 inch spindle gouge. I think that might be a little less vibration for you folks to have to listen to. Might make the video a little easier to watch too. As you can see, just because I went to a 1/2 inch, it doesn't eliminate the vibration, but I think it does reduce it a little bit. Give you guys the idea how deep we are right here. Using my finger to measure with, we can go up a little bit further, probably another 1/4 inch or so. Wall thickness in here is not bad, a little thick up in here. So we're right to here with our hollowing. We're pretty close to where we need to be on wall thickness. We've got one little spot there. We're going to go ahead and do some sanding here, inside and out, and we'll be right back. While I'm sanding, guys, take a minute, go down and subscribe to the channel. It doesn't take but just a second of your time. It doesn't cost you anything. It's the one thing that creators get for doing all this work. So thank you for subscribing. Go ahead and go down and do that now. Okay, we've sanded the bell to 320. We're about a 1/16 of an inch thick through here. That cherry is really looking good. I love the figure in that. Let's go ahead and make our cross up here. One thing we will do is we'll put this cone center in and we'll bring it up in here so that we've got some support inside on that end there. It's not actually touching the bell, but it is giving us some great support there. That bell is 2 7/16 inch across, if anybody is questioning that. I always get those questions, so I'll just put it in here. And right now, looks like the bell's gonna be about 2 3/4 inches long. We're gonna got about 4 inches of wood to work with here. So I'm gonna make the bottom part of that cross about 2.5 inches. I'm going to measure off 3/8. I may make it a little bit narrower than that. The top will be right in there somewhere. That means we've got to bring all of this down and this down in here too. So we'll just go ahead and get started wasting this away. And you can do this with a skew with a peeling cut. In fact, normally that's probably what I would do. But since I have a bowl gouge in my hand, that's what we're going to do right now. I recently had somebody ask me, so do you have to have a skew to do that project? No, you don't. Almost all wood turning projects can be done with just about any tool you want to use. So if you ask 25 wood turners what's the perfect tool to use on any given project, you're probably going to get double that many answers. One of the things on these crosses, you'll always see me do that slicing cut. And you may wonder exactly why, and why I do that right there. That's so that I can get that cross flat. So after you cut it, you're looking at it, it doesn't tend to go up or down. You want your cross to be even. So we're a little high in the middle there, and we're just a couple of thousandths high in the or low in the middle there. I'm not worried about the bottom. That's close enough. Nobody will notice. The top, yeah, we need to do something about that. This little beating and parting tool can be your best friend when you're getting in tight places and needing to get rid of some wood in a hurry. We're going to take this quite a bit smaller, but I will just kind of rough it down here and get it down to a half inch or so. And I did one of these yesterday. I didn't film the one I did yesterday. I made the cross the same as I did the bell, and I want the cross a little bit smaller. So the bell's 2.5. We're going to make the cross about 2 inches across. That means I need to take about a half inch or a 1/4 inch off of each side. You notice I didn't take the full width all at once. Last thing I want to do is chip that off. Let's kind of finish the shape of this bell right here. All we're going to do is do some light planing cuts just to bring this thing down to the size we want it. Remember when you're sanding to turn the speed down some. I'm bad about not doing that. Even though I don't set the best example there, you absolutely want to turn that speed down. It'll make your sandpaper last a lot longer, and it will actually speed up the sanding process. Okay. We're going to work on getting this top part flat here. When you're doing this, you want this angle of the skew running straight. We're not making a V-cut, we're trying to make a cut straight in. We're rocking quite a bit here. So we're a good 1/16 of an inch higher in the middle than we are on the outside. You're not going to get that all in one cut. Maybe close there. Yeah, we're within a 32nd, maybe closer than that. Might have gone just a little too heavy on it, but I think we can take care of that right here real quick. Real close. We're going to bring this top shaft down to the size of the bottom shaft. We are ever so close. Okay, I'm going to call that good on there. We just need to even it back up coming out here. That looks pretty good to me. We're gonna sand that and I'll be right back. So we do have a crack in our bell, but I saw that crack in the wood before we started, so I kind of thought we might. And that really doesn't bother me. I can tell you from experience, bells with cracks in them do not slow down customers from purchasing. Okay, it would not have been a bad idea to have done this earlier. We're going to go ahead and take this tiny little drill bit and drill a hole right through the center there. And what that'll be for is that we can put a clapper up in there. Okay folks, basically this portion is complete. We're going to part it off and then we're going to go over to the bandsaw and we'll turn this portion into the cross. Let me show you exactly what we're going to do there, okay? Folks, as you just saw, we went over to the bandsaw and cut each side of that wheel off. Now we have a cross. So I'm going to show you how I sand this off. I've tried many techniques and the one I like the best is just with the power sander, and let me show you what I do. With a 2-inch disc, I simply come in and run the edge of that sander up and down that. Let me show you real quick. It's a bit of a learned skill, but you can make that absolutely flat and smooth versus with all the bandsaw cuts in just a few seconds. Okay folks, here's the little bell with the cross on top of it. We've put boiled linseed oil on it, we wiped it down, so we'll put several more coats on it, but the finish will be very similar to what you see right now with just a little bit of sheen. The one thing we did not do is put a clapper inside it. I'd like to hear from you guys. What kind of clapper would you put inside a wooden bell? Go down in the comments, leave me a comment and let me know what you would use inside this for a clapper. Folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and happy turning.